Hello and welcome to this very, very special India Questions. I'm sitting with a man who I believe is the most loved human being on the earth today. Loved all across the world. He's also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Many years ago, I'm of course talking about the one and only His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Tell us, going back even more in time, how did they know you were the Dalai Lama? How did they find out?
Oh, that's a little bit mystery. Firstly, sometimes I myself also, you see, feel sort of wonder that the concerned Tibetan officials or Tibetan lamas, now, they say, how can you see they decide to go that far area.
They checked everywhere. Took 2-3 years, right?
I think it's a mystery. As I mentioned, it's a mystery level. Tibet as a tradition,
right.
Then region Rinpoche, as a tradition, he visited one lake. Sometimes I describe the ancient television. That lake is showing whole picture, sometimes person, sometimes letter, sometimes village. Now in my case, 3 letters, Akama. Then the village, whole village. My birthplace was a village.
Right.
And one monastery. Firstly, I think one monastery.
Right.
That monastery, unlike those monasteries which exist in central Tibet. So then the shape of that monastery, they decide the far northeast Tibet.
Right.
Very border with China.
Border with China, yes.
So they then decide that part. And then 3 letter, Akama. A means Amdo. The area which I born, Amdo area.
Right.
Ka, they interpreted Kumbum monastery.
Right.
Kumbum.
Kumbum, yes.
That's very near my birthplace. Akama, not very clear. There are different sort of interpretation. So anyway, you see, they then decide, you see, that area. So they reach, you see, that area, and then finally reach my own small village.
Right.
It's quite sort of strange.
Very amazing, yes.
And then they found one young boy. At once, you see, when they enter my room, or my house, my village house, my mother and the others a little bit sort of excited. But the young boy then immediately is approached to this search party, and recognized some of them. So, according to the member of the search party, as well as my mother, later is stated, told me, at that time I have some quite clear sort of memory about past, and recognize these people.
You remembered as a reincarnation. You remembered certain things from your past life.
Yes, at that time. Well, now, you see, even the memory about what happened yesterday also sometimes difficult. So, I think ordinary people, age is growing, the memory, the power of memory is increasing. But in my case, I think reduced.
So, like they would sort of test you. What do you remember? What kind of things did you remember from your past life?
I think as soon as, according to my mother and those search parties or member, as soon as they enter my house, you see, I recognize the person, individual person, and their name.
You recognize? And you were 3 years old about?
I think, yes, around 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3.
Like that.
And you recognize the person?
Then they exercise test experiment ways one rosary and few other articles which belong 13th Dalai Lama. You see,
Apparently you recognize the rosary was very...
Yes. So you see the rosary, two rosary. One, 13th Dalai Lama actually used. One, another one.
Oh, they would have two.
Two. Oh, all articles. Three or four articles. What's it? Double.
One
real
original
one.
that the previous Dalai Lama, the 13th, used, and one which was imitated.
That's right.
Okay.
So all three, I pick up the right one.
The original. Okay.
So luckily, I succeeded. You see, that test.
It was deep within you, actually. And as a child, then you were taken to Lhasa and the Potala Palace. What was life like in the Potala Palace? Were you a naughty child?
Oh, yes, no doubt. You see, no interest about learning. Particularly, you see, the Tibetan tradition, you see, the monk, from young age, you see, we start learning by heart some of the root text. So I also, you see, carry that same pattern. So I am very, very reluctant. No interest, no enthusiasm. Because you see, tutor at that time, quite stern. Right. And my tutor always kept whip.
Whip?
At that time, you see, myself and my elder brother, my age then around 6. My brother, I think, 8. So we together study, learning. So my tutor kept 2 whips, one yellow whip, one ordinary. So that holy yellow whip, supposed for Dalai Lama. Color looks holy, but if my tutor used that whip, same pain. Of course, no difference of holy pain, isn't it? So I think out of fear, I compel you to learn these things. But then, since my childhood, my mind quite sharp, so I can easily learn. So rest of the time I play, go around here, there, always play, and then watch. About to my lesson time come, then I hardly read a few moments, then I can learn.
So I hope you're all learning from this.